One of the most common questions that I get is, what do I eat if I have acid reflux, GERD, or LPR? And I don't blame you for being confused. When I had reflux, I remember being frozen in the grocery store, and when it came to meal choices, especially dining out and planning my meals for the week. That is because there's so much misinformation. There's so many different conflicting opinions about what to eat for acid reflux, and the truth is that there is no one size fits all approach. There are some guidelines that I recommend you follow if you're very symptomatic, but I thought I would take you guys along with me today, show you some of my favorite acid reflux friendly meals. I used to make vlogs like this a lot, so I have a lot in my channel on my acid reflux playlist, but today I'm gonna be taking you through a typical day in my life as a registered dietitian who specializes in GERD. I no longer have GERD, but I had GERD for years. I was on PPIs for years, and I was able to wean off of all acid suppression. You can watch this video here to learn more about my journey and how I did that. Today, I want to show you a few really easy, simple, and delicious reflux-friendly meals. I didn't used to plan my meals. When I worked in the hospital, I used to just eat lunch at the hospital, and then when I started working from home, I really struggled to eat lunch. I felt like I was just kind of snacking all the time, not really having a regular lunch, and that would lead me to like graze all day. And that grazing is actually really not good for acid reflux. A lot of my clients come to me and they're kind of snacking throughout the day. They don't have a regular lunch time, and that's not great. We want to have kind of regular meal times and maybe a couple snacks in between. Eating every 3 to 4 hours is really ideal for someone with reflux. That way you're not getting too much or too little at a time. And then if we graze constantly throughout the day, our digestive system is constantly producing stomach acid, digestive juices. We never get that break in between meals. So when you're thinking about how your meal should be set up, you want to think about eating every 3 to 4 hours. All right, I'm gonna finish my makeup, getting ready for a day of clients and admin work. I own a virtual private practice as well as the Flora app, so I have a lot to do on both ends there, and then some clients to see. I will take you through my meals and take you along with me throughout my day.
Coffee used to give me so much acid reflux, heartburn, throat pain, and now I can have it with no problem. So just a reminder that, some things that may not work for you now, it doesn't mean it won't work for you in the future after you've done some healing and some GERD relief. So I start my day pretty early in the morning. I usually have my coffee. I always add a little bit of almond milk to help decrease the acidity of the coffee, and I always add something with my coffee. Never have coffee on an empty stomach if you struggle with reflux. It's really important to have a little bit of food to buffer that acidity. And then I will do a quick meditation on the Flora app. Lately, I've been loving the gratitude morning meditations to start my day off in a really positive way. I feel like our brains as humans are hardwired to look for the negative, so we have to constantly remind ourselves to look at the positive. And so gratitude journaling and meditation has been really helpful for me personally. And most mornings I head to the gym. I walk there. It's about 1.5 miles, but I really like the calm of the morning, and it's just a really nice way for me to start my day. I usually lift, or I will hike or go to a CrossFit class. After the gym, I come home and I have some electrolytes and some creatine. I do have a video on reflux-friendly electrolytes for you because so many of them have citric acid, so be sure to check that video out. And then I make my breakfast. I usually prep some sweet potato and veggies ahead of time so I can just warm them up with a couple of my egg bites. I was super lazy this week and did not add anything to my egg bites, but I usually add some sort of feta or veggies or meat in there for some flavor. And then I sit down and enjoy breakfast.
So breakfast is purple sweet potato, some carrots and broccoli and asparagus that I pre-roasted yesterday. I also made some egg bites. I do have a recipe for egg bites on the Flora app. There are tons of reflux-friendly recipes on the Flora app to support you. Really easy prep ahead stuff to support you for the week. I added some nutritional yeast for flavor and extra B vitamins. If you are on a PPI or you've been on a PPI for a long time, you do want to make sure you're getting enough B vitamins because sometimes PPIs can deplete your levels of B vitamins. I used to have a really bad habit of drinking a ton of water during my meals, and this is not great if you have reflux. You don't want to overfill your stomach with fluids because this can increase the likelihood that you reflux and overfill the stomach and can dilute your digestive enzymes. Even though I work from home, prepping ahead my breakfast has saved me so much time, and you don't have to do something as in-depth as veggies and eggs. You could just do overnight oats or chia seed pudding or a breakfast burrito, something you can just grab out of the fridge or the freezer. You can even prep ahead the pancakes or the waffles from my Flora app and just top some yogurt and some fruit on top. or even prep ahead little smoothie packets to throw in the blender. I know you guys asked for a protein powder video, so that is going to be my next video, so be sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss that protein powder recommendation video. All right, it's about 10 a.m. and I am the most hungry in the morning, so I'm having a mid-morning snack and I'm gonna have another one of my pumpkin protein muffins. The recipe for this is on the Flora app. I had one of these with my coffee, one of my favorite things to have with my coffee. They're a great extra protein boost. And then I'm having some leftover ground chicken. I know this isn't your typical snack, but I try to keep my diet really high protein because I strength train and I just feel a lot more satiated and not as hungry in between meals if I have a high protein snack. So I'm gonna have this snack and then jump on some client calls and then catch up with you at lunchtime. All right, so it is lunchtime and I prepped these turkey, cabbage, rice, feta, and broccoli bowls. This is super easy for me. I just finished up some client work. I had 4 follow-ups and 1 new client, so I am ready for a meal and I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this. I get a lot of questions about fat and acid reflux, if you should avoid all fat, what kind of fats are the best, and the truth is you don't want to eliminate fat entirely. If you eliminate fat altogether, this could put you at risk for unplanned weight loss, also nutrient deficiencies because you need fat to absorb a lot of your vitamins, and hormonal imbalances. So you do want to make sure you're getting some fat. Fat may come in your cooking oils. So if you're roasting your veggies in a little bit of avocado oil or olive oil, it might come in there. If you're sauteing your veggies in some avocado or olive oil, it might come in there. You know, about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons per meal could be a good place for you to be if you're struggling with a lot of reflux. You don't want to overdo the fat. Like going past 2 tablespoons of oil per meal probably won't feel good. When it comes to like avocado, having a third of an avocado or a fourth of an avocado per meal could feel a little bit better than maybe the full avocado. This will change if you've had weight loss and you're trying to restore weight, so note that. But for someone who has reflux and you've not experienced unplanned weight loss, you do want to be a little bit mindful of the fat portions, but still include them. Just watching the portion size is key. So maybe 2 tablespoons of nut butter instead of 4 tablespoons at a time. Another thing to keep in mind with reflux prevention is the way that you eat. So be really mindful when you're eating. Make sure you're chewing, you're starting that digestive process, you're sitting up tall so you're not putting pressure on the lower esophageal sphincter, and make sure that you are not eating too quickly. If we eat super quickly, the stomach is not ready to accept the food. So we have to eat slowly and let the stomach do its thing and accept the food and distribute the food through the stomach. Especially if you have a hiatal hernia, really important if you have a hernia that you slow down during your meals. Chew well, put the fork down 4 to 5 times, and let your body kind of become aware that food is coming. Let your stomach accept the food and let it distribute through the stomach. If we eat super quickly, this really contributes to our risk of reflux. Hey guys, so it's now like 3 p.m. I'm having a little afternoon snack, having an IQ bar. This is their almond butter chip flavor, but they have tons of acid reflux friendly flavors, which is why I wanted to show you them. They have like a blueberry one, they have a banana bread one, lots of great fruit flavors without chocolate. So that's why I recommend IQ a lot to my clients. And I'm also having a cup of chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is a great herb for soothing inflamed tissue in the esophagus. So chamomile tea, fennel tea, throat coat tea, those are all awesome teas that you can use for reflux, either soothing or just as a reflux friendly beverage alternative to like carbonation or caffeine. And I have them linked on my Amazon store, which is in the description.
Just like a lot of my clients, I don't have a lot of time to cook dinner, and I thought working from home I would have more time to cook, but things have been so crazy lately and I've been really leaning on quick and easy recipes. I love making an easy turkey or chicken meatball. Today I'm using some ground chicken and I'm going to be making a version of the Greek feta meatballs on the Flora app, but I don't have all the ingredients, so I'm switching it up just a little bit, and I'm going to add some of the gourmand reflux-friendly garlic seasoning. If you have reflux or IBS and you're avoiding garlic and onion, definitely check out the Gourmand seasonings. I will link them down below. It's a great alternative. I'm adding a little bit of a non-spicy curry paste to add a little bit of a different flavor, but in the Greek feta recipe, it does not use curry paste. It uses feta and herbs to flavor the meatballs, and it's one of my favorites. But switching it up today a little bit, and these are super simple. They cook super quick, and I love having them for meal prep. It's a great thing to make extra at dinner so that you can have for meal prep for the week. You could add them to a pita, you could add them to a salad or a rice bowl. Really, really versatile. So I usually, when I'm making my dinners, choose my protein first, and then I think about what carb and what plant am I going to have with this. One of the easiest carbs to just add to a meal is rice, or you could add toast, you could add some crackers, you could add sweet potato here as well, or some couscous. I also added some roasted broccoli that I had already. I usually roast a big sheet pan of broccoli for the week or another veggie so I can add them to my lunches or dinners. Then I added a little bit of cheddar as well on the side.
All right, so I am winding down my day. I hope this video was helpful. One other question that I get asked a lot is if I only eat reflux-friendly foods or if I still have reflux. And the truth is I no longer only eat reflux-friendly foods. Right now I'm drinking a carbonated beverage that also has citric acid. These are like Zevia healthy sodas that I could never tolerate when I had GERD. I eat lots of foods now that I could have never thought that I could have tolerated, like coffee, carbonation, chocolate, tomatoes, things that are part of sort of my week-to-week life. I never thought I'd be able to tolerate. My GERD was so bad. Coffee was my biggest trigger, and now I drink at least 1 cup of coffee a day. So there is hope to reintroduce these foods back in, but you have to think about reflux healing as healing from an injury or healing from runner's knee. If we keep having reflux triggers all the time and we're refluxing all the time, we never give ourselves that break for that tissue to heal. And so I had to go through a period of time of restriction where I wasn't having the reflux trigger foods, and I was working on my nervous system, working on my nutrition. I was really prioritizing addressing my root causes so that I could heal. And then I've been able to introduce foods back in, drinks back in, and so many of my clients have too. I'll link our testimonials down below if you're looking for more support, but that is just a question I get all the time, so I wanted to address that. If you have not yet, definitely check out my reflux-friendly grocery guide. If you've ever felt confused about what to get at the grocery store or what to eat with reflux, this video is for you. I go through all of my favorite reflux-friendly grocery staples, so definitely check this one out. And be sure to grab my reflux-friendly grocery guide down below. So both of the links to those videos, our one-on-one sessions, the Flora app down below in the description for you. Thanks for joining me for this video, and I will see you at the next one.